No holding back, no stepping stones, no broken promises, no busy tones. Just what it takes, just make believe. No one belongs to anything. I've seen the lies, I've seen the lies, I've seen the lies. Train go by, it's kill or be killed. I wonder who lives.
Good morning, everybody. The Lead is brought to you by Peterson Health. We are live from the Peterson Health Digital Studio at Pint and Plow Brewing Company. At Pint and Plow is closed today, so don't come down here and bother us. K-Pub, safe, reliable, and yours. Gibson's Discount Center. I don't see Doug. He must be boycotting today. Ken Simple Ford. The JEP Properties Real Estate Report is today, but we have a little twist on that today. Also, the SLS Partnership for Architectural Services, the Herring Printing Company, and we also have Jody Tillman, Mortgages. There we go. The Herring Printing Company has been around since 1964 to help you with all your printing needs. And Janelle Peralt is here today. We're going to talk about the papal real estate holdings. I think we're going to... Did you get any listings while you were in the Vatican?
Sadly, no, I didn't.
What's up with that?
Yeah.
I know. Come on now.
I learned a lot.
I bet you did. I'm looking forward to this conversation we're going to have with Janelle. She happened to be in Rome when Father Cardinal Robert Prevost was named Pope Leo XIV. So we'll get some more information from her on that. Karen and Linda here from New Hope Counseling. We got a couple other ads I want to get to. If you need a delightful mattress, my recommendation is go to Mattress World. Go down and see them. They're on Junction Highway, and they will take care of you. It says Doug is not here. I don't know where Doug's at. He has a lot of hats for sale over there at the Gibson's Discount Center. Strong hats. They've got it. They've got them for you there at Gibson's. All right. Good morning, everybody. It is hot. It's going to be hot all day. There is a heat advisory in effect today through tomorrow. 105 to 106 degrees is the forecast for tomorrow. And let me see what the National Weather Service says here. Let me see here. All right, so we have a high right now of 74 degrees. We're on our way to 102. They're now saying 104 tomorrow, and then it'll cool down Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, but it'll still be nice, toasty 97. The heat advisory is in effect today, starting midday, and then it'll go into tomorrow, but it could be hotter than 104. That would be record temperatures for May as we head into the Charity Ball weekend. So there you go. It is going to be warm, so if you keep your critters inside, and I think they already know. They're already like, I'm out. I'm not going outside. So there you go. We got a lot of news and notes this morning. They did the trade deal yesterday, so apparently we're only going to spend 30% now for the Chinese stuff. So that's gonna be good. We're gonna see some savings on that. The Commissioners Court met yesterday, and they didn't really discuss anything that was too exciting. They had a lot of little things they went into. They did join the Chamber of Commerce though, but they didn't agree on that. It was a 3-2 vote. So that was kind of a big deal. Let me look at my notes here for everybody here. Tonight, though, let's get to the city council. That's the big thing. They're going to meet over Arcadia Live tonight at 6 o'clock. Delane Sigerman and Jeff Harris will be sworn in as council members because no one ran against them. So they'll certify the election. This never happened, and then they will swear them in. And it's one of those things, those ceremonial things they do over Arcadia Live. I think it's a good idea. But the big news of the day is that they're going to talk to Whiskey Springs, which is the big development. Have you followed this story at all, Janelle? Mm-hmm. So Whiskey Springs is the development that's over on north of Interstate 10, kind of west of or east of Texas 16. And it's in that old safari. Is that how you call it?
The old camera safari.
Old camera safari, right.
Long time resident.
Long time. And they've already done grading on this as well. It's going to be a golf course community. It's going to be huge. They're looking for a public improvement district, which is called a PID. And that PID would then pay for the infrastructure costs in there. Now, Here's the rub on this. Anything that's been asked by the council lately that's been extra, that isn't like, that they're going to have to like deal with, they've said no to. Now, this one doesn't really cost the city anything. It costs the people who are moving in there. They have to pay the taxes on the infrastructure. And the infrastructure costs are pretty significant because you have to put, water infrastructure in there. Now, a lot of people are like, oh my God, there's no water for that. How do they have that already done? How can we build this development? Well, here's the problem though. This project was approved more than 20 years ago. And so it's always been a part of the city's long-term water study. So the water's already there technically. It's still going to make people unhappy, I think. But that's one of the big discussion points tonight. They're also going to look at the economic development incentives for the mall to put Academy Sports in. So are you an Academy Sports person, Janelle? Did you?
Yes. Well, and I haven't been in a while, but I had kids that played club sports.
Yes.
So, we forgot my cleats. Oh, we did the back and forth to Academy a lot because somebody always forgot something.
Yeah.
Or I took a bunch of kids to the final tournament in Brownsville.
Yeah.
And the year before it had been 90 degrees, and we got down there, and we didn't break 33 degrees with the rain and the wind.
Oh, why?
And I was in the academy buying children tights and things to
Clothing.
wear in their
Yes,
uniforms
right.
because I wasn't going to deliver them back to their parents with pneumonia. So, I've done some academy shopping in my sports mom career.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess it'll give us a great place to buy Crocs. That's one of their things that they sell a lot of their.
But I mean,
Crocs.
we have the sports complex with the baseball and the soccer, and we have lots of families that come here to play against our local teams, and I'm sure their children are like our children and they forgot something, and so then Academy would be.
I'm sure they'll have a wide range of Dallas Cowboys merchandise for Jeremiah Romack's wife, Missy, right? Probably. So, Major Romack's here from the Salvation
Oh,
Army.
yeah.
Yeah,
Karen's
they're-
a fan.
Karen-
They'll have some Wemby jerseys,
Yeah, Wemby. We need more Wemby. Less Dallas Cowboys, more Wemby. The commissioner's court yesterday, they did approve a thing about how to kind of mitigate the fat mucket. It's our little clam that's protected here, and they're going to pay this fee to help them not have problems with permitting in the future when it comes to protecting the fat mucket, which is the liver of the river. That's the true story. Your property's still for sale. In where's that at again? Harper? Mm-hmm. The Earth Block home? Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. I love that house. Mm-hmm. The Texas Master Naturalist Program has won a prestigious honor for their engagement statewide. They won an award from the Society for Range Management. We've had the Texas Master Naturalists on many times. They're very, very interesting people, very focused on their things. So I don't know. I mean, I don't. Are you a Master Naturalist? Would you do that?
Well, I can tell you that my son was very active and did leadership for SRM. So I've got the SRM angle covered on that.
Got that. Okay.
At this moment, I can't, I have to catch up in my household before I take on other roles.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. The Community Foundation gave out $533,000 in awards to Kerrville students. That was pretty cool. I love I don't know if I told you this yesterday, or you heard this yesterday, but yesterday I told the story about how I was at Ingram on Saturday for their awards ceremony, and they gave out $1.8 million in scholarships. One kid got $180,000. McKenna Rumbo was her name. Rumbo. And great kid.
She got the Cala, or what'd she get?
She got $162,000 from one scholarship alone. And then she's going to Texas A&M, so she got money from them. So it added up to more than $180,000. But of course, and you know this to be true because one of your kids went to A&M. Mm-hmm. They do that howdy, and then they do that woo, 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 that kind of stuff, And it started, and Tony Gallucci,
Who is serious A&M.
Yeah, he had to do it. Right, on Saturday.
He started the women's soccer program at A&M.
Yeah,
there are deep roots there.
And he did the woot. Well, yesterday we made Jeremy do it. We made Jeremy do it.
Okay.
Jeremy Walter, and he just stood back over there by the bathrooms, and he just screamed it out super loud, the woot. And he did the whole yell thing. He didn't wear the overalls.
I don't. I've never seen anyone wear the overalls.
Yeah, well, that's the male yell leaders wear overalls, and then they do they do that stuff.
Okay.
But anyway, I struck back and I did a whole sick and bear thing because I'm deeply in debt to Baylor. So we struck back, and then the Texas Tech kids got going. So we started a whole thing now at Ingram. But good news for those kids that got $533,000.
Such an exciting time in life.
A lot of that money came from Charlene Spalding, who is a former, like, I don't know how she's so wealthy, but she's given out scholarships. She's given out millions of dollars to kids
her husband was a real estate investor.
Real estate investor. Okay, all right. Well, and she survived Brent Bates' deal, so good for her. There's a World Migratory Bird Celebration on Saturday. Katie Capel was here yesterday, chattering away about birds. That's Saturday at Riverside Nature Center. It's a bird walk and talk begins at 8:30. And then there's another event at the Cafe at the Ridge from 11 to 3. And so if you need to do bird stuff, that's on Saturday. And this is going to be a cool exhibit starting on Thursday. The Kerr County exhibit to feature war letters from service members. This will be at the KACC, the Kerr Arts and Cultural Center. This is if you've had letters home, so people who have written letters. And I kind of was mad at myself because I actually have the letters that my great uncle wrote my grandfather during World War II.
That's awesome. I have one that my grandfather wrote my grandmother.
Yeah, I have those too. I have the letters my
And you know how they redacted? Were yours redacted?
The
so
ones
they wrote on that tissue paper. They cut out sentences.
Yes,
so you hold it up.
Yeah,
it's like all
right.
these little things. They're not like marked. They're actually cut out.
Yes.
Yeah. Remember we used to fold up papers to make snowflakes?
Yeah.
It's kind of feels like that when you pull out.
Yeah, it's all my grandfather's is all cut up, from his
Mine's
brother.
too.
But yeah, I was kind of like, I should have given Barbara Oates some of those letters. But that's going to start on Thursday. Barbara Oates and Angela Kinnan will be here on the show on Thursday to talk about that exhibit. I'm excited about that too. All right, what's going on in your world, Janelle? What do you got going on?
I'm back.
I know you saw the Pope,
and I'm running again. And yes, I had a great time.
Now wait a minute, I don't remember. I knew you said you were going to be gone.
Yes, I said that.
I know you said you were going to be gone, but I don't remember you saying I'm going to go to the Vatican.
No, well, so my husband and I have kind of keep a low profile about telling the world when we're not going to be home. Even though we had neighbors, house sitting and all that, we kind of have a remind that you tell it all when you get back and you keep your mouth shut while you're gone. So I would just alerted you that I wouldn't be there. But I noticed you still put it in the newsletter. I'm like, oh, I hope he remembers.
Yeah,
but that's okay.
I always forget.
Okay. So shout out to Rotary, Jeremiah. Here we go. So we try to raise money with Rotary and do all those things, and we sell raffle tickets.
Jeremiah, you can come join us too, by the way. Come sit down.
Jeremiah needs to come corroborate my story here. So we raise money with our main event every year, and we sell raffle tickets for different kinds of prizes and things. We used to give away Visa gift cards, and we had new leadership, and they came up with a program where you could win a coupon for a few nights, and they had these different places that you could go. And I wasn't sure about the change, and I was talking to my Aggie agent, who's also been a Rotarian for decades, about what do you think about that shift from like putting cash in people's hands to coupons? And he's like, didn't you win that once when your kids were both in college? And I'm like, yes. Zip it, buy your tickets, go to the event, get on down the road. You're not on the border. It's fine. I won.
Nice.
I won. Which was like, oh. And so you could pick from the different places that they had on the list. They had Jamaica. We aren't tropical people. We don't do third world countries. You could go to Kentucky. We lived there. It was for whiskey and bourbon. We don't drink whiskey bourbon. You could go to Sedona. I'm a Sun Devil. Done Sedona. Whatever the little things were. So 6 nights in Tuscany is what we chose.
Nice.
And it takes a pile of money to get there, but they give you 6 nights at the place with a couple little outings. I'd never been to Italy. I did my exchange in Barcelona, and of course, because my husband grew up in France, we've been there twice, see family and all that kind of thing. And so I did it, and then on the back side of it, because we flew in and out of FCO, I wanted to do 3 days in Rome, and I love the Gothic cathedrals of Europe.
Yeah.
I loved it when I was a kid. I'm there for it. basilicas. Come on, we're going this way. The whole, if I could figure it out how to go see Notre Dame after being reconstructed. I mean, this is stuff that my kids, my family knows. I mean, my husband's into it too, but we go somewhere and it's like, oh, look, they have a cathedral. Let's walk this way.
Yes.
Anyway, so I knew I wanted to go there. And I know that my husband gets a little whiny about me dragging him around all over everywhere.
As you should.
Yes. So I picked the Verbo pretty close that looked like it'd be okay, right, kind of close to that, because we're going to go see the Sistine Chapel. We're going to do that. And so Pope Francis got ill, and he was in the hospital, and Alan, my son, and I were discussing. He's like, oh, man. By morning, he's going to be gone. I'm like, that's terrible. And then he rallied. And I'm like, you go for 88 years old,
right.
full-time work. Like, look, rock star, look at this guy and everything. And then, he did the thing for Easter. And you're like, wow.
And then they brought J.D. Vance in.
He passed away on Easter Monday, Ascension, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So that was very sad. So I thought, okay, that's terrible. Here comes the conclave.
Right.
Now they're camping out in my Sistine Chapel. But okay. It is what it is. We get to go on this trip, so we go do Cortona. Lovely. Had a great time. Assisi. Oh, if you ever get to go to Assisi. Oh, my goodness. Amazing. My husband's middle name is Francois for
a reason, yeah, right.
Francis of Assisi.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that was delightful. Went to a couple other places, and so then it was time. So we go to Rome, and we get there, and he's crying that the Verbo's on a hill, but we're gonna get there. He despises the crush of high tourism places for the pickpockets and all that.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, let's go this way. So we walk by the Pantheon, and it's like Times Square when stuff's going on. I mean, it's just a crush of tourists. And now he's really cranky.
Now he's really upset. I love it.
And so I'm like, we got to keep going. And he's like, further? It's warm. I'm like, come on, I want to go to the Trevi Fountain. I really want to go to the Trevi Fountain.
Yeah.
And so we got over there. And then he lightened up because, of course, Dolce Vita and all those things. It's supposed to be great luck. Still a lot of people, but okay. And so then we walked back like a block above. And I can't say the name of that road, right? But it's kind of like Rodeo Drive. It's where all the houses, all the fashion houses are above that. So it's much more low key. Okay, now the crankiness is coming down. Things are good, better. And so we came in the back way. So we had to walk around Vatican City to get back down to our Verbo. And as you come up on the Vatican, there are TVs and people sitting out. And so we're taking it in, and it's the watch party because they all have the TVs on the smokestack.
By the way, you walked in the
daily,
Via dei Cantati.
No, it starts with the B.
Oh.
Bugnier.
Oh, okay.
Bugnier. I can't say that.
Okay, all right, sorry.
I'll learn that and report back. So as we come down the side, there are people sitting around and they're looking at TVs. And what are we looking at? Oh, we're looking at the smokestack. Yep, we're going to have daily votes. Black smoke, we're still deciding. White smoke, we got it done. So we're like, okay, well, that's kind of cool to watch people be excited about it. And so we make our way around. When we get back up the hill, get inside, sit down. It's cool. Like, okay, what do we do? Are we going to go somewhere? Are we, what are we doing? Because we're kind of spent. It's a 2.5-hour drive from Cortona.
Yeah.
And then I walked him around. So we're kind of feeling a little spent. It's a lot warmer because that last day in Cortona, we went to Montalcino, and it didn't get above 59. And then we get to Rome, and it's like 79. So it's a little contrast. 100 in Texas. I'm like, how's that going to work? Anyway,
Yeah, right.
So we're finding little news bits to watch, and all of a sudden, I hear the bells, and they're really loud because we're close. I'm like, I'm sorry, it's 10 after. What bells ring at 10 after?
Right.
So he gets the little news thing, pulls it on his phone. He goes, we have white smoke. I'm like, oh my goodness.
So
it's
you
happening.
ran.
Right, I ran. Yeah, because he's like, I'm like, you come in, and he's like, I am cooked. Like, I'm going to stay right here. And I'm like, okay. So I go running down the hill, and you can see St. Peter's Basilica there, and getting across the street, and you've got the Vatican has like 6 different kinds of police.
Yeah.
There, like there's all kinds of different things going on, and so you're running, and you see the crush of people, and they're all trying to make their way into, St. Peter's Square. And so I am a little claustrophobic, and I don't know exactly what the vibe's going to be as they're running people through security. So I get up on a perch where I can just barely make out a sliver of the TV on one side, and I can see the people in there. And then I became the speaker for the police because they were getting really angry at people that were trying to get in and trying to get out, and pushing people off. And these people came, they were Asian, but they spoke great English. And he's trying to explain things to them, and they're not understanding. And they're like, I said, excuse me, he's telling you, if you leave, you get to get in this line back here that's now a mile long.
Oh,
with
my gosh.
50 people across trying to get through to get in. And she's like, okay, we'll stay inside.
All right.
You know, so we had a little bit of that going on. And so I'm hanging out watching these guys try, and people are showing up with like really important credentials that they like work at the Vatican, whatever. You go around, you get in line, you go through the deal. And then when they make the announcement, habemos papam, everybody leaves their post and everyone just goes inside. I'm like, well, then I go inside too. So I jump over and get in there. And so I was in there where I could see the TV. I was in front of the fountains and I could see the deck. And I've kind of got goosebumps and chills about the whole thing because I'm like, what a historic thing to fall at my feet.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, like, I didn't plan, like, I was going for Sistine Chapel, which isn't going to happen. But I'm like, I can't believe that I'm really here and this is happening at my feet. I'm, you know, I've got a little bit of tears, but, you know, so I'm texting my son because, you know, the cell phone bandwidth, like crashed there for a second. There are too many people. So I'm like, it's happening. We have a new pope. I'm here. And he's like, oh, take lots of pictures. And then that was the last that we could actually send to each other. So I get in there and I'm there. And then all of a sudden the Italians are like, what? Americano? No. I mean, and they're kind of freaking. I'm like, oh my goodness. This is our first American pope. And I'm standing here and it's happening.
That's incredible.
It was just like, really, so it kept my mouth shut, of course. But, you know, people were like not super happy about that because, you know, there was that one Filipino guy that was kind of way out in front as the favorite.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm thinking, you know, is that going to happen?
Right.
This would be so interesting.
That was going to be historic too, you know.
Yeah. So you don't know exactly what's going to happen. And then they always want Italian.
Yeah.
They'll be very clear. The Italians want Italian. Anyway, so I'm like, I can't believe it's really happening. Mm-hmm. And then he comes out and they make the announcement and all the naysayers that were griping are all just like, Papa. Everyone's like, round of applause, rock star. Like,
that's amazing.
They all on a dime turned and everyone was like full, happy, going crazy.
Were there a lot of Americans there too? Or were you like one of the few then?
I'm sure there were Americans dispersed out there, but I didn't find anyone. I mean, I was clearly in a group of Italians.
Right.
Like, no question.
Yeah.
100%.
100%.
Yeah. So, I was shell shocked.
And what was your husband like? How far away was he?
He's back at the Verbo. It's
he's given up.
Oh,
he didn't even he drug me around everywhere, and you know my body's killing me, and you want me to run to the Vatican? You know, no.
How many miles do you think you got in? Because I'm just looking at I'm trying to look at the map here.
Yeah, no. So I mean, I was right there. I was at 7C Arella de Mura, which is where the wall comes around on the other side. I couldn't have been more than 400 yards from the gate, I think.
Wow.
Maybe 500. By the time I got up, ran down the hill, because you know there's not a crosswalk there.
Yeah.
And so some people were getting in trouble earlier in the day. Well, forget that. People, you know, they're all, but the gates and the separation and the armed guards and this kind of police and that kind of police and all that.
And your foot held up pretty well, huh?
I did well. The only issue I had that day was I wore these little walking tennis shoes, little platform, little kids kind of things, all over Cortona because it gets very slippery when it gets wet. You know, it's all little stones, and Italy is up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. You know, so I was trying to be cautious. And when we got to Rome and it was hot enough, I got a little bit of a blister just because my feet were sweating because it was 20 some degrees warmer than it had been the day before. But it was.
What a story, though.
It was so thrilling. I can't explain how.
Are you guys Catholic? I mean, I know that you.
So I am not a confirmed Catholic. Yeah. My husband's, his grandfather's uncle was the Archbishop of Strasbourg. Very sour feelings after the war. Yeah. Like they weren't real happy with the church and things. And his grandfather wrote Pope Pius, whatever that would have been in the 30s. Is that 11, 13? I don't know. Anyway, he actually wrote and changed the rules for taking communion on Sundays with the Pope back and forth about you couldn't eat before. Well, the kids, they get so hungry and whatever. Okay, then we'll change it. We'll do, you can't eat 2 hours before communion.
Right.
Had all those letters that have been kind of been lost in the deal. But then my son, Alan, is confirmed. He went to OLH. My other son and I are not confirmed, but Mike Boulette, who we just love, baptized them both. So
Wow, nice. Well
that
done.
was in our mix. So we know lots of Catholics.
Yeah.
And we
so,
hang with them.
I mean, still, I mean, it was like one of those moments too, like no matter what your faith is, like Jeremiah, you'd be there, right? You'd be watching this. You'd go,
yeah.
you'd be walking through there, wouldn't
Absolutely.
you? Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Been
mean,
there actually.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you know what I'm talking
Beautiful.
about.
Yeah.
How long ago?
4 or 5 years ago. 5 years ago, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, wow.
And so which direction did you come into St. Peter's Square from like the Vatican City, the St. Peter's Square is kind of at the bottom of Vatican
Yeah.
City on a north-south perspective.
Yeah, we came through St. Peter's Square. And
From-
when you walk, and then you walk up, and then the
So you came
So-
from the downtown Rome side?
I believe so.
Okay, because we were directly under, so ours was more of a cross thing. So as you walk from I guess that would be the east side, you were coming in,
Yeah.
and it's kind of that open half circle.
Yeah, it's all
And you've got the
exactly.
2 fountains.
Yep.
Okay, so I got in front of the fountains.
Oh wow.
And then just slightly to the left, because I came in from the left side as you face the front of the square.
So what happened after you saw you saw the smoke and everyone's going crazy, and did you like
I
look
was
at it?
there for a while.
Did you go get a
'cause it
cappuccino
was-
and then go
Yeah, no,
home?
it was getting to be nighttime because it was like 6:10 when I heard the bells.
Yeah.
So by the time he came out and did his thing, it was probably pushing 8 o'clock. And of course, the Frenchman was starving in the Verbo.
Yeah.
So as soon as they started to break free, like they were going to leave,
Yeah.
I got out in front of him and went to that main, the Fazio or whatever that main road is coming out that direction, and stopped in a pizza place and said, just give me some of those pieces in a box and I'm going to get up the
go.
hill and out of here because there's going to shortly be, I don't
Angry
know.
Frenchman.
No, but I just, there were
angry
tens and
Texan.
tens and thousands of people in St. Peter's Square.
Oh, yeah, they
and
were
you
gonna
don't
make the
know
run
which
for
way
it.
they're going to come out.
Right.
And I know which way I'm going. So we'll run over that way. And because these establishments are going to do very well here in about an hour.
Yeah.
Because all these people are going to be coming in this direction. So I got
God, what a story.
I got some, tired pizza that, of course, was fine with him. Like
What an
just,
exciting-
4 or 5 kinds
Yeah.
in the box. Let's go get the deal. Let's run up the hill and we'll be great. But yeah.
Now, when
just-
you take your husband out to places, and I've seen him in action before.
Mm-hmm.
Like, does he like pin down every chef that's out there? Does he like want to go back in the kitchen and see what's going on back there, or is he just kind of?
No, I mean, it depends on what's going on. I mean, he's always looking at the table service. We always have a conversation. It used to drive me crazy when we started dating, but now I've kind of been indoctrinated. And he just kind of looks at the food and the setup and what people are serving or not serving, or he can look at a menu and go, I don't want to go here. I'm like, okay, let's just keep going,
All right.
kind of thing, right? So
That's the way to do it then. So he's an expert.
yeah, I mean, but he's like.
I love this
If
story.
they put things together and it doesn't make sense, then he doesn't want to go there because he doesn't think they know
Yeah.
what they're doing, because that doesn't make sense that you put that to, anyway. So whatever. However, it'll be fun. But yeah, no, it was literally a monumental, historic event that means something to me that absolutely fell at my feet.
That's amazing. Just fell right there. Just saw it right there.
I just got into
Yeah.
Rome. So then I thought, now,
right.
Pope.
Yeah.
I'm getting in the Sistine Chapel.
Right.
I bought the tour for the next day.
Yeah.
In the afternoon, I'm like, I'm getting in. And then the lady was like, oh, they build platforms and put in a subfloor so that everyone's together. Because as you walk through the Sistine, there's lots of up and down and stairs.
Yeah.
And so they build in this platform and they put all these desks so that they face each other for the conclave. And they have a little bit of a manana attitude about building,
Yeah.
and even more so about taking down.
Taking down.
there
So
was
it's still
no
closed.
chance I was getting in
In
there.
fact, on the map, I'm looking at the map right now. It still says it's closed. So
Yeah, no, if it took them over a week to put it together,
Yeah,
it's going to be a couple weeks before they take it down and get it out of there.
that's outstanding.
Yeah,
That is
no,
outstanding.
it was
What a story.
it was a very
Congratulations.
thrilling thing.
I saw your video and I was like, oh, I was like going to call you, but I was like, it's going to be like some weird time. She's probably traveling. I was so captivated by
And
it.
so that was kind of the event, because
Yeah.
I would never post anything showing that we're not around.
Yeah.
Except that was like a
You had
historic
to.
event. Yeah. So that was the yeah. No, it was really, and that everybody who was bickering just on a dime was so
Changed
joyous.
it. Yeah, changed everything.
Just like on a dime.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I like that a lot.
actually, so he's not Italian, but he's Italian. He's got some Italian roots. Father, the Leo the 14th, and what's interesting is that Pope Francis was actually, even though he was from Argentina, he was. His parents were Italian, and so
as are many people in Argentina.
So they broke the streak there, I guess for a little bit.
John Paul was Polish.
Was Polish.
John Paul II, like that was, was the huge. That was very
Pope.
controversial with the traditional.
The Pope between him and Francis, Pius. He was
Benedict,
German.
you mean?
Yeah,
Benedict.
Oh, there you are still. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Benedict was.
Yeah. All right.
But they're very
This is a great story. Justin Graham is like lurking. All right, Linda and Karen, what do you guys got going on? What's going on with you two? What's new?
Well, I would have been thrilled to see the Pope.
Yeah. How do you think Frosty would have handled seeing the Pope? Can you imagine Frosty meeting the Pope, Pastor Washington at Barnett Chapel?
I can't imagine
It wasn't really, introduction.
I know.
Right, but I mean,
They elected a pope
Right.
on
I know.
my watch, right there.
but seeing that process,
Yeah.
I am not Catholic, but I attended Notre Dame 1st through 8th.
Oh, did you
Okay.
really? Okay. So you had plenty of interaction with
Yeah.
Yes.
with the Catholics.
Yes, I
Yes.
did.
Yeah. Did they still have sisters when you were there, or did they not?
Yeah, they had this. They had sisters and lay teachers.
Lay teachers. Okay. All right.
And
All right.
they only went to 8th, so I was actually a graduate.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we got to invite the Pope to Barnett Chapel. What do you think? I think we can get him there. He'd probably enjoy it. He'd probably enjoy the music.
Yeah, I bet he would.
Yeah.
I bet he would.
All right. What are you guys working on? What's going on?
Well, we are here because it is Mental Health Awareness Month.
Oh, okay. Good.
And so we just want to make people aware of what it is to go through counseling.
Okay.
So my name is Karen Maddox. I am a licensed professional counselor associate at New Hope Counseling. And what my topic is the intake process.
Okay.
So the first time when a person is interested in getting counseling, you can go online or you can come into the office at 1127 East Main, number 100,
Okay.
and get an intake packet. And you complete that and you return it to the office staff, and then they will schedule an appointment for you. And for the first appointment, it's basically the counselors getting to know you.
Okay.
So my process is when they come in, I ask them basically their life story, who their parents were, where they grew up, how many siblings they have, their birth order, education, occupation. Then it goes into marriage, children, and then the current reason why they are attending counseling.
Okay.
And so the first session is just basically a getting to know you session.
Right. Right.
And it's not scary. It's very friendly. And counseling is basically a safe place to come and discuss your problems.
Right.
Everything you say is confidential. And it's just a sounding board. The
Right.
counselor is a sounding board.
And you have a conversation with that person, right? You talk to them, and you try to make them comfortable, or is that how that works exactly?
Well, what we try to do is, through the process, a series of sessions, because we try to get them to commit to at least 10 sessions, at least.
Mm-hmm.
And we try to peel the layers off the onion, so to speak,
Yeah.
to
Right.
get to the root of the problem.
Right. And so this month though, is there a waiting list though? Because I always hear that people are like, there's shortage of counselors or therapists in town. What's going on with that right now?
Oh yes, we definitely have a waiting list, and yeah, that's one thing I was going to bring attention to is some of the statistics, some of the data that the data is the boring part and everything, but it's super important because when we realize that New Hope. We serve 7 counties, and this past year we had 3,100 scheduled appointments with four full-time counselors and 1 part-time. So, we continue to hold a wait list with an average of 15 to 17 people at a time due to lack of funding and counselors. So we need to find some more counselors and we need to find some more funding because one really important thing is that we've actually, for the past year, had 25 suicide interventions.
Oh my gosh.
And yeah, so we have been trying to be able to do more of that, helping people more, and I think that, what Karen's talking about is important to know because a lot of people, it's kind of scary to them to come in and talk about their problems. And, it takes a bit to kind of, produce a rapport, to get a rapport going.
Yes, it does.
But, some of the facts about Texas mental health is Texas is ranked last in terms of mental health care. It's ranked 50th, which is last, basically, for uninsured adults with mental health conditions. And in Texas, 1 in 5 adults experience a mental health condition each year, and 1 in 3 children experience mental health conditions each year. I work with children myself, so there has been a long wait list for children, partly because they have to come in late in the day after school.
Yeah.
And one thing about that is the schools don't like it when kids have to leave their class during the day. And, we have notes that we give to them, but they talk about they have to have the number of attendance
to get paid, yeah.
for them to get funding, to get
Yeah,
paid.
right,
So
right.
it's kind of that struggle, that push-pull with them kind of thing. So, the numbers are kind of grim, but we do what we can to help. But Mental Health Awareness Month, we definitely want to.
The interesting thing about you were talking about suicide too, and just from dealing with personal anecdotes, things like that, is that it's not only just the intervention on the person who is contemplating that; it's also the collateral damage from the situation. Because I've known people who it's been devastating to know that they have a loved one who was in that crisis and they didn't know how to deal with it. They didn't know how to address it. And that leads to, you have to help those people too, because they're like, what did I do wrong? How did I make this happen?
Absolutely. Yeah. They've got the grief and the fallout from that.
Right.
Yeah.
You guys just got a fundraiser last month, right? How did that go?
We did. We raised some money from it. It was pretty good for our first time biggie.
Yeah.
So we're going to do some more pretty soon. So stay tuned for some ways to help contribute.
Okay.
And just to remind everyone, I work with adults. mainly any 20 to I think the oldest may be 88.
Really? Okay.
Yes. And we do have a sliding scale.
As far as payment goes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good. Those are all good things to know and to hear. So I mean, I really appreciate that. The last ranking is I've read this several times. You know, this is one of these things that's like, for all the positives we have going on in Texas right now, there are some true negatives, and that's one of the big ones right now. Is you're seeing this these problems, you know, with mental health care as well. So, all right, well, good. Tell us how we contact you? How do we find you? Give us the information on how to find you guys.
Okay, yeah, you can call us at 830-257-3009. You can find us on our website at www.newhopecounselingtx.org.
Okay. All right. Good job. Don't leave yet because we have more. We have more questions for you here. But before we do that, we're going to go over to this guy right here, Jeremiah Romack, Major Jeremiah Romack. What is going on? It's National Salvation Army Week or month? What is
Week.
the week?
Week, yes.
Okay.
Designated back in.
Did you get a vote in the Pope, or were you allowed in that?
No, we're more like cousins to the Catholics.
Right.
We're all
right.
part of the Universal Church, so we cheer each other on.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
What's going on with you guys? What's new in over the crock?
National Salvation Army Week started back in 1954 with Eisenhower.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to recognize all the good work that the Salvation Army did for the community and for society. Played a big part in both of the wars and things like that. And so we're celebrating this week just as a thank you to our donors, to our volunteers, to all the folks that come alongside us and help us do that work. And so we got a number of different things going on this week. Interviews. We'll be at the city council meeting tonight. I was interested. So Ashley, she tells me where to go.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, we got to go to Arcadia. I was like, it's a city council meeting. She's
Yeah.
like, yeah. So I was like, what's going on? So now I know because I was here this morning and got to hear that. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah. They do it. They do a meeting there once a year. Generally, they get so much use out of it, but they don't always use it. So this is the one where they like to have people show up, and it's more comfortable than the council chambers. So
Ceremonial.
there's a lot of public recognitions, and Salvation Army is one of that. Also, it's also National Williams Syndrome Month recognition. So our friend Laura Walters will be there as well, and so that's at 6:00 tonight. So there you go.
So we got that. We're doing a special thing over at our thrift store. On Thursday, I think we're serving hot dogs and water to anybody who walks up. Yeah.
That's almost walking distance for you then.
Yeah.
Speaking at Rotary tomorrow.
Okay.
So I'll be there for that. And a bunch of other stuff. I don't know. At this point, people just kind of point me in the right direction, and I go there and talk.
Are we going to have red kettle cookies tomorrow? No.
I don't know. That's a good thought.
I mean, how is it here's the thing, right? A lot of times I've gone to those things, historically, and there's always a good lunch there. You guys do a good job with the lunch. I mean, it's impressive. I mean, I've spoken now once, I guess, and I've been to several meetings, and I've always have a nice meal there. So good job on that part as well.
Yeah, great events team.
Yeah. What kind of things are you trying to emphasize, as well, as far as your service here in the community?
So we're going to take a broad approach at the beginning and talk about Salvation Army overall, how we started, how we got to where we are today, and then we're going to narrow it down to what we do here in Kerrville. Obviously, we have a croc, very rare. There's only 26 of them in the United States, and so we're going to point that out. But also, people tend to forget the social service side of the things we do sometimes because, the croc is a pretty big thing, and it takes all the oxygen out of the room. But, we also have social services that we provide. We have a dental clinic. We have indirect services that we provide through drug rehabilitation, disaster recovery. I mean, just a number of different things. I was adding it up earlier this week, and I got to over 40 different services that we offer.
Yeah.
And that's not even all of them. So just a number of different things that we bring to the community and offer to the community.
By the way, you sent me down a rabbit hole now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me just say this real quick. I want you to highlight this, thanks to AI. But here's the thing: like, why Dwight Eisenhower saw the value of the Salvation Army, because he was in London, he was in the European theater. But here's what they did, right? Here's what the Salvation Army did during World War II. They had the Red Shield clubs and canteens. They basically helped create the USO,
Yep.
which is still is still beneficial to this day. They had mobile canteens, which I think in the series Masters of the Air, they showed one of those mobile canteens of them giving like donuts and coffee to the fighter,
Really?
bombers as they were going off to war.
The Hallelujah Lassies.
Ah,
That's what
yes.
they were called.
Yeah.
We'll have Donut Day next month.
Okay.
National Donut Day.
That's June 6th, I think. Mobile canteens, hostels and comfort, the Investigation Bureau, which I didn't know. This is interesting too. They help locate missing servicemen for their families. They had chaplaincy and spiritual support because historically, you guys are kind of non-denominational. You can kind of move between the different denominations that are out there and serving the wounded, all during World War II.
Yep.
So that's a pretty impressive history. So Dwight D. Eisenhower most likely saw that firsthand, and thought these guys need to be recognized. So it's there's a museum, by the way, called A Million Acts of Kindness. War and Emergency Salvation Army. So that's something that's still part of your mission today.
Absolutely. Reaching out to those in need, those that are marginalized, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So.
And a cool new after-school program.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
How's Elzeth Hetzler working out? She's doing pretty good, huh?
Well, no, Elzette's amazing.
Yeah.
She is an amazing lady, and she's really taken that program on and just taking it to new heights. It's going really well, and it's all encompassing. Of course, the foundation is the gospel for us, and then we build everything else off of that. But she's been able to incorporate that in after-school care, summer care, sports. She started sports leagues. We've started up our.
By the way, she doesn't like a lot of my ideas, just so you know.
Oh yeah.
I tried to help her, but she's like, no, we're not going to do one-on-one rugby, Lewis. Not going to happen. So.
Well, she's more of a field hockey person.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I think you should get that going. Field hockey's the deal.
Yeah.
So, that's great though that you guys are seeing that success. And she's trying to hire people. Did she have any success yet hiring people?
Yeah. So we actually hired 3 people last week, which
Nice.
was really exciting. Everybody did a happy dance in the hallway, and but that just means that we can expand our program even more to more kids because we're limited on the number of staff we have. So as we're able to find those people and bring them in, we can expand that number. And I think all of our camps for the summer are sold out at this point based on the staffing we have. But we added those 3 people last week, which allowed us to increase our count by 30. And I think over half of them, when we went to the waiting list, it filled up over half of them already. So again, there's a need there. We know that child care has been a big issue, hot topic for a couple years now.
Yeah.
But she's doing a great job in putting it together and building a strong program.
Well, I mean, I think that you have the tools there. It's just finding the people to put the things together in place. And she seemed like a natural fit there. Knowing her coaching background and things. What are some of the things that you look at? I was funny. I just did an event last week, which you missed, by the way.
I know. It looked like it went well. I read about your.
It did go well, but you do an event, and then you realize, wait a minute here. I need to do this and this. The minute the event was over, I was like 5 things I would have done differently.
That's
that's the hard thing about events.
That's why we do things more than once.
I know.
We get inspired by the first round. Yeah.
Tell us, what are the things that you want to you look at that and you're like, we can do this better next time, or how do you what's your assessment of your programming?
Well, staffing is always going to be a key issue.
Yeah.
Everybody. It's just that's a hard road to get
Yeah.
through. But really, the expansion is the thing that I've been focused on since I've been here.
Yeah.
The building is a great building, but we probably outgrew it 5 years after they built it.
Yeah.
And so we're taking one step in that direction now. We currently have got a contract approved. We're doing some renovations. We have this barn, 5550 barn, that we're converting into another program space. And then hopefully within the next year or so, we're going to jump into a capital campaign to build an actual building for kids programs.
Okay.
And
on that site, right? You're going to expand the site?
Yes, we're trying to keep it on
the campus.
Yeah.
It's just easier to manage that way.
Yeah. Having disparate facilities are probably a pain. So
well, and it comes to alignment with our mission of bringing families there, right? Mom and dad can do something, kids can go do something, brother and sister can go do something. It's all there in one spot.
Yeah, I've heard that you guys had some challenges at times this year. I mean, there's some chatter about the kind of the homeless situation. What's going on with that? What's the latest there?
So we just finished a 18-month mission planning study or community assessment to really evaluate the services that we do, what we can do better, what we maybe don't need to do, and maybe some new things that we're not doing yet.
Yeah.
Part of that discussion led to what we do with homelessness.
Yeah.
And we discovered we spend a lot of money on a homeless shelter.
Yeah.
And we don't really have a huge impact there.
Right.
I think we're averaging less than 2 people a night.
Oh, wow.
And we're spending over $250,000 just in salaries.
Wow.
That's not any other expenses. And so when you look at that in contrast to our direct services through bill assistance and things like that, on average, we're spending $2,000 a night on somebody to stay at the shelter. But when somebody comes in to get their rent paid, we're only spending a max of $500 per person.
Right.
So part of what came out of that study was how we do social services going forward. Not that we disregard those folks. We still have non-traditional sheltering that we accomplish through hotel stays, through our partners in San Antonio, Salvation Army over in San Antonio. But we're focused more on keeping people in their houses. So preventing homelessness before it starts.
Right.
More intensive case management, things like that. And so that's really kind of the big thing that's come around on the social service front. We still have all the other services as far as dental and those things. But the big thing really was the shelter component.
Yeah.
And we, took, like I said, 18 months, talked to a lot of people. And that's the decision and the conclusion we came up with, and that's how we think we can best serve and best be good stewards of the resources.
What was the area we thought where maybe you had an aha moment or a surprise out of that study?
Oh man, gosh, that's a good question. The big aha moment for me was really getting out to go and meet people in the community that I hadn't met yet, and them saying, I've been waiting for you to come and talk to us.
Oh, right. Yeah, right.
And I try and be out and about as much as possible, meet as many people as I can, but still get the work accomplished over at the building we need to get accomplished. But just the affinity really that the people have for the Salvation Army that I met, that I'd never met before, and trying to connect the dots and, oh yeah, this person works with this person and this person funds this person, but they also want to fund just a number of different things, just to see kind of how the community connects together.
Yeah, right.
Was pretty amazing. It really was.
Yeah, that is pretty amazing too. And
Lots of overlaps in this town.
Got to connect some dots too, because I'm a part of several other committees with different foundations and things around, and I was like, well, hey, did you know this other group is working on this and this other group's, and so I got to kind of be the glue to bring them together, and so now there's some even bigger projects that people are working on for the city, and so it's nice to be helpful and useful and also help connect the dots.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of things that a lot of needs in the community right now, and I'm always impressed that the Croc has that sort of built-in capacity, and like I said, we talk about places being like the living room of Kirk County, and I think the Croc is one of those places where it's like, oh, this I can depend on the Croc for this. The Rotary Club hosting the Rotary Club meetings, the great Thanksgiving traditions that are out there, the gym, the pickleball court, the magnificent, gigantic screen that you guys have purchased that I might steal one day. So there you go.
Yeah, if it goes missing.
If it goes missing, you know where Lewis is at.
Yeah.
Me or Aaron Yates, would be the ones that would steal that one as well. All right, what's so we got? What's your next big event? What do you got coming up next?
Next big event we have, we're hosting Project Graduation.
Oh, that's right. Project Graduation.
Did that.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yes. 10 to 3.
10 to 3. 10 to 3 a.m.
Looking for volunteers.
Yes. Oh, my gosh. Project Graduation.
Yeah. No, it was great. We did it last year. We hadn't done it for several years, and then we did it last year. It went great.
Yeah.
The ladies that organized it came in, did a phenomenal job. Kids all had a good time. Yeah.
I heard people the other day were like, I don't know, why would kids want to go to, hang out after that? I'm like, I don't know. It was kind of fun. My grad night was miserable because we went to Disneyland, but.
Yeah. I skipped mine and went camping.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Interesting. What did you do for your graduation there, Janelle?
I think I got the check mark for going, and then that was kind of the
Yeah.
end of the
That-
deal. Like,
that was
you know,
it.
you're there
You didn't
for
go. You didn't go to any events or anything like that. You didn't do a grad night thing or anything like that.
No, we didn't really have lock-in type things.
Yeah,
I think they
right.
had like a
Yeah.
dance sort of thing, and then
Well, they did ours because they would get drunk, after the thing. It was terrible. So I mean, that's what the high school that I was supposed to graduate from, they would lock you in. So because they were like, don't
Good
be
idea.
drunk. What about you, Linda? What did you guys do for graduation?
Oh my God, I went from Tivy on my senior year. I went to Shriner on my senior year,
Oh.
so I really didn't do graduation from Tivy.
Oh,
I kind of did it from.
you're a 2-for-1 deal, huh?
Yeah.
That's great.
I graduated from Shriner twice, and then went to UT and graduated from there.
Oh wow,
So-
great. Karen, what did you do? Because you're TFND, right?
Yes, I am. And I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Graduation
Yeah.
night.
Yeah, really. And you went camping.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I think we're all ready for the next chapter.
Yeah, we were all
By
ready
the
for it.
time we got to graduation, we were kind of done with high school. We were ready
Yeah,
to
I just kind of went home
launch.
because home was here in Kerrville. You know, It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, I got done with graduation. They put us on a bus. They sent us to Disneyland with 45,000 other people. Oh my! It was awful. It was just awful. We had waited in line for 2 hours for food, and it was just packed with people. You were in a suit. It was
it wasn't like, now that you're done with high school, Lewis, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
I'm going to Disneyland.
I'm going to Disneyland. I'm going to stay up until 3 o'clock in the morning. And let me tell you, even when I was 18, 3 o'clock in the morning was not a good time to be awake. Nothing good happens even at Disneyland at 3 o'clock in the morning. So, all right. Good job as always. All right. So back to New Hope Counseling again. If you need, it's National Mental Health Month.
Yes.
Is that right? If you want counseling, what do we do? How do we help? How do you help? Tell us the details.
Okay, contact us at 830-257-3009. We are housed at 1127 East Main, Suite 100. That's the BCFS building.
Okay.
And what is the website again?
It is. Yeah, I know. It's long. It's www.newhopecounselingtx.org.
.org. Gotcha.
.org.
Okay. Janelle Peralt, what's going on in the world of real estate? Give us a quick update here.
Yeah, we've got listings, we've got buyers coming to town, we've got activity. I think the financial markets are very happy with the change in tariff postures. I know we had a little bit of an interest rate improvement last week while I was gone. We'll see if that sticks, but all the financial factors are pointing in the direction that it's going to be a good spring real estate.
Okay. All right. Good deal. And then if you're new to town and you want to join the Croc, how do we do it?
Go
Go
to
there.
kerrvillecroc.org or
Yeah.
just show up. Just walk in.
Show up.
Yeah.
All right.
5:30 to 9.
5:30 to 9. Okay. What did you learn today? Jeremiah Romack, go.
I don't know.
Oh, I know what you learned. You learned
catches us
about
off
how Janelle Peralt can get stuff done
Yeah.
by going to in Rome. She knows what she can give you a tour now. So,
I was into it.
Karen, what did you learn today?
Yes, I was really excited to hear about Janelle's attending the conclave.
Yeah. Right.
The conclave votes, they just,
Votes.
Yeah.
once they make the election,
Yes.
I just happened to be there.
Just happened to be there,
present it.
right?
Like,
She's happened to be there.
Yeah.
But it's a
It
great
was
story.
like going to a giant rock
Yeah.
concert kind of thing without knowing when it was or that you had a ticket, you know?
Ah, right. You just got shown. You just showed up. Right.
Just showed up.
What about you, Linda? What did you learn today?
I was interested to hear about and learn about the Eisenhower starting the
Recognizing.
Recognizing, yeah.
the Salvation Army.
Yeah.
Well, and all that history about what they were doing with the armies and stuff during the war. I saw that show, Masters of the Air,
Yeah.
that you were talking about.
Well, you remember
That was
there's a
great.
scene early on, and I can't remember if they're Salvation Army volunteers or not, but there's young women who were giving out donuts, and one of them falls in love with a guy who never comes back. You know. and
Yes,
just-
yeah.
She gives him the donut, and then he never comes home. So
And I didn't realize that about the donuts either.
Yeah,
that
that's a great
where
story.
They were invented
maybe that's
or
maybe that's your
whatever.
next thing is you should have like a little donut, like a little donut maker. Salvation Army donuts. There you go.
We're actually looking for a donut girl costume for Ashley.
Oh, goodness. Don't encourage her.
We'll let you know if we find one.
I'm going to have to look that up. Let me
There's
see.
gotta
Yeah,
be
he'll
one
be like
somewhere.
on Amazon finding that.
Yes. he'll bring it over for you.
Oh, boy. These are probably inappropriate. Okay. All right. Janelle, what did you learn today?
I learned a lot of things. I learned that Jeremiah had been to St. Peter's Square
Yeah.
in Vatican City.
I know.
didn't know that, although I know Jeremiah. So
Yeah.
learned all kinds of things going on.
What's Missy's prognostication for the Cowboys season? What's she thinking about?
Well, she's a Cowboys fan, so obviously she's optimistic. But
When will she get surly? About the 5th week of the season?
no, she usually make about 6 or 7.
Week 7?
Yeah,
Okay.
because everybody still has a shot
Yeah.
through week 6 or
Yeah.
7, right?
Right.
And then after that is when reality sets in.
Yeah.
And you realize.
Then you realize it's not going to be Super Bowl
They're
year.
still the Cowboys.
Still the
yeah.
Cowboys at this point. So frustrating. So frustrating. All right. Thank you guys all for being here. Appreciate it very much. Tomorrow on the show, Amy Goodyear will be stopping by for what's going on at Playhouse 2000 and the VK Garage Theater. Janelle, thanks for sharing that fabulous story with us. Again, thanks to New Hope Counseling for being here. And again, thanks to Major
Thank you
Romack for being here.
having
All right, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you guys again tomorrow.